No, she gasped, wrenching herself free. She ran, the blossoms thrashing wildly as if angered, their light blazing. The path ahead seemed endless, but she forced herself forward, her lungs burning. At last, the oppressive glow broke apart, and she burst into another clearing. She collapsed to the ground, coughing, clutching the glowing flowers still clutched in her hand. When she looked up, the guardian was there once more. "You did not let the forest consume you," they said. "You endured, though temptation sought to lull you into complacency." That is the first step. Elara struggled to her feet, breathless but resolute. The guardian's eyes softened, almost kindly. "The nest lies further in, but the forest will not open easily. You must carry the courage to face your own shadow. Without it, the nightingale's song will remain forever beyond your grasp." Elara swallowed hard, gripping the flower tight. "Then I will face it." The guardian inclined their head, then lifted a hand. The air rippled like water, revealing a narrow archway woven of branches. Beyond it stretched a deeper darkness, as if the forest's very heart awaited. "Go," the guardian said, "but remember every step forward brings you closer to truth, and truth is not always gentle." Elara drew a shaky breath, then stepped through the archway. The shadows swallowed her whole. Would you like me to finish with Part 5, The Nest and the Return, as the final section, where Elara discovers the nightingale's true gift and carries it back to her village? Wonderful! Let's bring the story to its conclusion. This is Part 5, The Nest and the Return, the final section of Nest of the Nightingale. Nest of the Nightingale, the Nest, and the Return, the path beyond the archway, was unlike any Elara had walked before. The air grew colder, heavy with the scent of stone and rain. No birds sang here, no insects hummed. The silence was absolute, pressing against her ears until she could hear only the thrum of her own heartbeat. As she walked, shadows stirred at the edges of her vision. They lengthened, deepened, and at last rose from the ground itself. Shapes formed tall, indistinct, yet strangely familiar. Elara froze. The shadows stepped closer, and in their faces, she saw her fears. One wore the scowl of her mother, eyes filled with disappointment. "Foolish child," it hissed, "you should have stayed home. You will die here, and your dreams will mean nothing." Another shadow shifted into the form of her father, weary and silent, his hands rough from carpentry. "You are not strong enough, Elara. You are fragile. You cannot change anything." Others followed her neighbors, their laughter sharp with mockery, their voices blending into a cruel chorus. "Dreamer, useless, lost." Elara's knees buckled. For a moment she wanted nothing more than to run, to curl into herself and let the forest swallow her. But then, faint and fragile, she heard it, a note of song. The nightingale. Elara lifted her head. She pressed the glowing flower to her chest, its light flickering but steady. "No," she whispered. Her voice shook, but it grew stronger with each word. "You are not real. You are only my fear, and fear will not keep me from the song." She stepped forward. The shadows shrieked, their forms writhing like smoke, but she kept walking. With each step, the glow of the flower grew brighter, until it blazed like a lantern. One by one, the shadows dissolved into nothingness. At last, the path opened. Elara stumbled into a grove bathed in silver light. The trees here arched high above, their branches twined together to form a natural dome. At the center stood a nest woven of moonlit twigs, resting upon a pedestal of stone. And there, perched within it, was the nightingale. Its feathers shimmered with colors no mortal tongue could name, and its eyes shone like midnight stars. As Elara approached, it opened its beak and sang the song filled the grove, filled the world, filled Elara's very soul. It was a song of sorrow and joy, of endings and beginnings, of every wound healed and every hope reborn. Tears streamed down her cheeks, yet she felt no sadness, only release, as though a weight she had carried all her life had been lifted. When the song ended, the nightingale regarded her with quiet grace. Then it leaned forward and dropped a single feather into her outstretched hands. The feather glowed faintly, warm against her skin. Elara bowed her head. "Thank you." The nightingale spread its wings and rose, vanishing into the silver canopy. The grove dimmed, though the nest remained, and in her hands, the feather's light pulsed gently, like a heartbeat. Elara turned, and to her astonishment, a path had opened behind her. She followed it, and before long, the forest thinned, the trees parting until she found herself once more at its edge. The village lay before her, bathed in dawn's golden glow. When she returned home, her parents wept with relief. But Elara could not keep the feather to herself. She shared its light with the village, and though no one else heard the nightingale's song, they felt its gift. Crops grew fuller, children laughed brighter, and sorrow that once lingered like a shadow began to fade. And Elara herself was changed. No longer was she the girl who merely dreamed. She had walked the heart of the forest, faced her fears, and found the nest of the nightingale. In the years that followed, whenever despair touched the village, Elara would hold the feather close and listen. For though the bird was gone, its song still lived in her heart. And sometimes, on quiet nights, when the wind swept gently through the fields, others swore they'd heard a note of music drifting on the air, soft as a secret, eternal as the stars. The nightingale was never truly gone. Its nest, once hidden, lived on in every soul willing to listen.